Yeah, for those of you that didn't see this, Terrence Howard
Oh my God.
is back on Joe Rogan. And I could have cut a lot more, I think. I just figured we had plenty to get to this week. So Terrence Howard, we heard him on the Joe Rogan Experience. And Eric Weinstein also heard him. Eric Weinstein is, I don't fully know his list of credentials, but he's an academic. He has taught courses at MIT and things like that. Very smart guy.
He should teach courses on how to let a lady down easy, because that's what he does in this thing. He lets her down easy.
Well, so he goes on Rogan and he says, hey, there's a lot of stuff I didn't like that Terrence Howard was saying. But what I liked even less was the response to him by academics, people dunking on him and just being like, he basically alluded to the fact that his colleagues were like, you fucking retard. Boo, get out of here, you loser. And Eric Weinstein's argument was like, I don't think that's a way to behave. Like when someone presents ideas, we should, if we think they're wrong, teach them why they're wrong or examine possibly why they're right. So he went on Rogan with the intent to open people's minds, including Terrence Howard's. And I don't think he ever quite got there.
No. 1 by 1 equals 2.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I'm sure you guys know this by now, but Terrence Howard's big theory is that you may think 1 times 1 is 1. Anything multiplied by 1 is itself. Not so. Terrence Howard says 1 times 1 is 2. And that's the big theory that people have been railing against. And so this is them bringing it up on Rogan.
We're going to get into something about multiplication, where Terrence has an issue with multiplication. But to the best of my knowledge, you don't have an issue with addition.
I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with multiplication either.
Well, then why?
Imagine, I got to say this. I rarely give credit to Stuttering John. At least Stuttering John's issues are with human beings. Terrence Howard's like, I'm filing a lawsuit against multiplication.
The times table. It screwed me.
Multiplication has come after my mother, my sister, my pubs.
Vinny, the multiplication table. Quit calling me. Quit sending me food.
1 is what?
1 times 1 should equal 2. And action times an action. If you can show me one place in the universe.
But you just shifted frames.
No. Show me one place in the universe.
I do like the balls that Terrence Howard has, where he's like, no, you shut up, doctor. You think you're so smart? Let me tell you something, Eric Weinstein, you bitch.
You remember when Joaquin Phoenix played that fake character walking around for like a year and they made a movie out of it? What if Terrence Howard has pulled on us the greatest troll of all time?
It's the only great explanation. That you might be onto something, because I don't know a lot about what Terrence Howard was like before. But like no functional. These are the rantings of a homeless man.
It is. I hear this in Venice Beach quite often.
Yeah, I will. Here's my one defense of Terrence Howard. He clearly knows more about mathematics than like I do, because things come up in this conversation like where Eric Weinstein's like, oh well, that's not true. I couldn't refute them.
Right.
So he's clearly learned enough to sound smarter than like an idiot like me could argue with. So I guess that's a feather in his cap.
It does make sense, though, why he was released from Iron Man and that franchise. If he was like with his agent doing the math on the figures, like, well, you're getting this much. Well, he's like, no, I get twice that. He's like, no, you're getting it's twice that. You can't have an action and an equal reaction. Like, goddamn, get him off this movie set.
He probably got thrown off Iron Man because he was like, the science doesn't work, and I'll tell you why. And they're like, we're just making a fucking superhero movie, man.
I'd love those stories.
Natural observable phenomenon where 1 times 1 equals 1, where an action times an action doesn't have a reaction.
So then you just went into there's a concept called logomachy, which is arguing over words. And what you want is not to be caught. If I can beat you in a word game, or you can beat me in a word game.
You can beat me in a word game. I didn't go to MIT
me in a word game.
I heard.
I'm just a downtrodden genius.
Just a Goodwill Hunting over here, solving problems on the blackboard.
I'm just a down on his luck genius. I'm David to your Goliath. I'm just a guy. I ain't had no fancy book learning. I'm just telling you that all mathematics we've ever known to be true are wrong.
You may have a calculator over there, but I'm tapping my head. I got one of these.
But to give you the idiot's definition of what Eric Weinstein's saying is basically like, you can get hung up on definitions and argue words. But what Eric Weinstein's saying is like, does the math bear out? Like, or is this something we've all accepted to be true? Like, are you having a word game with me where technically 1 times 1 can't equal 1? Or are you saying that there's been a massive cover up on the multiplication table that big math doesn't want us to know about?
No, you went to MIT. Yeah, that's my answer. You went to MIT. Right, partnership. He wants to leave here with a partnership.
Oh, so this is where this would be like if fucking Joe Rogan had me on to make fun of me, and I was like, "Well, Joe, I figured when I left out of here today with my portion of the Spotify money, I thought we could talk big picture stuff." That's what you're hearing with Terrence Howard, where he's like, "Listen, this could be Eric Weinstein. This could be pretty profitable for you if you play your cards right here."
We might just make ourselves a time machine.
I'm trying to explain physics the way you explain it.
Well, okay. But
I'm
I wanna-
looking for a partnership at the end of this. That's what I'm hoping.
You hear in Eric Weinstein's voice, he's like, well, you can't. You're not capable of that. You're just not as smart as me. I'm sorry, Terrence.
to win you over as a proselyte.
You can try.
Or as a, I'm, that's,
And there's
I'm
part of
hoping
you
that the
that's one-
information does that.
There's at least one area that you have won me over in, which I'm very excited about. But I'd like to get back to
What is that area? Don't leave us hanging.
the linchpin. We'll get to it.
Yeah, but you can't leave us hanging.
Well, I'm trying to get back. Look, I'm trying to do a service to this.
Go
Listen,
ahead,
let
let's
me
do it.
let me let you talk.
I'm trying to do a service to this idiot. Come on, Joe. Let me.
This is where you hear two meatheads making fun of a door. And I like Rogan. I think he's smarter than some people give him credit for. Not as smart as others give him credit for. But this is where you hear just two guys bullying a physicist or whatever the hell Eric Weinstein is. Where he's like,
to get a noogie.
he's like, I'm trying to make logical points. And they're like, you nerd and your fucking points.
Give him a swirly.
This is where I think Eric Weinstein realized, like, I'm not going to get anything done here today, am I?
I wasted a trip. Well, I got the gift bag. I got the Joe Rogan gift bag. He's counting the things in there right now.
Talk. You just can't talk. Stop trying to control everything, you freak.
He's got a plan.
I
And he
know, he's
can't-
got, like, a
and
very
he's
Look at
original
this
plan.
dork with a
He did
plan.
plan.
He's like, that's the only reason I'm here.
What Joe has done to science is fucking amazing.
Have a good time.
Can I get an ayahuasca chino?
Eric's trying to have
What?
fun with it.
He's like, I need to get high. Get me as high as these idiots.
Well, that's why.
Pull up that, Jamie, is the title for this one.
Oh, this is how you know it's a conversation among geniuses. Watch how long this is. Poor Jamie.
he's getting that.
A
I'm
genius
going
has
to-
sent him a link, and Jamie has to try to pull it up.
All right, here we go. Sorry.
What's your
Anyway,
plan?
he didn't
can I
We're
get
gonna
come-
have a good time.
Can I get an ayahuasca chino?
It's pretty funny, actually.
Well, that's why. While he's getting that, I'm going to.
Got it.
It's on your. No, I don't. I'm on your website. I don't know exactly where the book would be.
Oh,
Is it one of
look,
these
look,
links?
Just go down. I think it'll be.
Oh, no.
He didn't have the forethought to send this to Jamie before the show.
But he has created new elements, but he forgets to send an email.
It also shouldn't be this hard to find, by the way.
No, go down. There is the proof that proves everything in history. Yes.
I've given Craig shit sometimes for taking too long Googling stuff. This is the biggest podcast in the world. So, Craig, I apologize. Jamie gets paid millions to do this, and it's taking him for fucking ever.
Yeah, I don't blame Jamie on this one.
No,
a little
no.
more. Square root of 2. No.
Just scroll through all my gibberish. It's the gibberish at the bottom, not the gibberish in the middle.
Yeah, if you'll just type into my book, TCO.
That's what I'm looking. Well, where's the book?
It's
Or you could also Google OTOET.
OTOET. Will take you to that.
Yeah, 1 times 1.
Terrence Howard's like, I don't know what that is. And Eric Weinstein's like, well, it's exactly what you're looking for and a much easier way to find it. You've literally written the book on this and you don't know what I'm talking about?
The confusion from the smartest man on the planet is scaring me, Mike. I don't know what to think.
2 is
Yeah,
the
but
acronym.
if you go to TCOTLC.com and that'll be able to pull up. Because then TCOTLC.
I don't remember. Oppenheimer was a little long, so maybe I dozed off for part of it. I don't remember the scene where Albert Einstein is like, Jamie, bring up the thing on the nuclear bomb. No. Scroll down. No, not that one, Jamie.
No. MC squared, Jamie. Squared, asshole.
Yep, right below there, Terrence Howard. Yep, tap
Flower of
on.
Life, this.
Yep, Flower of Life. Let's see if you just open up the book. You got to open it though. Download.
It's not a physical book.
Right there.
I don't know if that's what.
You know, for all these conservatives being DEI this, DEI that, this is awful DEI, Joe Rogan.
Downloads the book.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. Open.
I'm clicking that, and that just takes me to this, and then it's not doing anything.
It's not doing it.
Let's try searching Google OTO.
Eric Weinstein's like, how about Google, gang? This is easily
And then
accessible.
several. All right.
I mean, we have 624 in the chat, and if I'm 1 second late of pressing something, I start to sweat thinking you're going to get on my back. This is the biggest podcast. I'm like, no, just go to this page. What about that one? How about that? No, like, they're just fucking off. God
And then
damn.
Jamie's even more frustrated because he's like, now I got 2 of these assholes telling me what to look up. Let me find one of them.
Can I go back to the Laugh Factory?
All right. So if you go and then put in Howard.
Basic search engine shit.
Ooh.
No.
Or put in PDF. We should be able to pick. Yeah, okay. That's probably right.
Biggest podcast in the world.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And then
There we
go to page 134 on the right-hand side.
But you do have several editions.
They're in the wrong book.
He has several editions.
Hey, Terrence, if you're on Rogan a third time, maybe highlight a few things and email them to Jamie.
No, it's my 4th edition of bullshit, not my 3rd edition of bullshit.
Because he says, he's like, pull this book up because I'm going to be referencing it a lot.
Book. Self-publishing is amazing.
I didn't even, that other one somebody else set up there to probably
Okay.
distract and keep people from being able to find it.
It's probably the government.
Yeah, we're going to do that later. You're gonna,
Rogan's laughing at him now.
The conspiracy guy as well. That's one conspiracy too far for me.
they're coming. That just
I believe we got moons on the base, but this guy put together this website. Come on.
tap on that jewel right there.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is
Crazy how
And we can
long this
rotate
lasts.
that with the
Yep.
cursor and get a.
What's great about this, I'll be able to pull pieces out of it. Yeah, so just tap onto that
Brilliant.
drill. So we can start with
Okay.
this. We
So-
can start-
Very
Jesus
much like
Christ.
very much like a picture you would see a guy in the insane asylum draw.
It was truly exhausting.
It was, but we got there. Here you go.
And then Eric Weinstein with a smile. Shout out to Eric Weinstein for being patient enough because he's like, okay, brilliant. I'm glad we got there. Thank God.
One step closer to disproving all of your bullshit. We can at least see your bullshit.
Not since Richard Lewis is a man calling something brilliant been such a lie.
Hey-o. All right, this one's called Truth.
Okay.
I think he dropped some truth bombs.
Oh, so well, this is him talking about. This is why I liked that the podcast happened. Like, I didn't pull every clip that I could have. It's 4 hours. Go watch the whole thing if you're interested. But I do like. This is where I defend Rogan because people shit on Rogan for he thinks he's this intellectual and he's not. Whatever. I like that Rogan is willing to have this conversation, and I think Eric Weinstein pretty much nails it here.
We need to do a better job. Look, right now we're in a crisis where no one knows what's true. Nobody knows who's full of shit. Nobody knows where they can trust, what
Right.
they can trust, who they can trust. And one of the things that actually, moved me to come and to reach out to Joe is that by default, I think, I've addressed the National Academy of Sciences 4 times, I think, because they were lying and I caught them. And so they wanted to know how much I knew about their lie. It's weird to think that this little studio, in a weird way, is one of the rivals of universities when we don't know what's going on at Harvard. As you have recently seen, we don't kick out plagiarists. We don't check what's going on at the National Institute of Health. And so it's very strange that this table is one of the last things that is trusted by many people. And that's one of the reasons I'm here, which is people have a chance to see people in conversation about things. And, you screw up, but the conversation's recorded and we all go on and people have a chance to see what's coming out. If we can go back to the Flower of Life, I can try
I
to.
would love that.
They would love that.
But it's funny because Terrence Howard's not really understanding what Eric Weinstein is saying is like, it's really cool that someone can spew the bullshit that Terrence Howard spewed, and then I can come on and correct the record, and Joe's willing to do all of that. Like, I actually think what he said about Rogan is very beautiful there, and I think it's true. Where it's like, I like that Rogan has those conversations, and he has these doctors on that refute what was being said about vaccines and all that type of shit. It doesn't mean you have to believe him. It just means all the information is out there, and you can pick apart what you do and don't like. Terrence Howard is like, yeah, no, exactly. He's promoting that 1 × 1 = 2. That's ultimately what Terrence Howard is stuck on.
We got a partnership. Hell. Yeah, I like that Weinstein guy. I mean, you need someone like that out there to feel free. Like, not everyone's going to go confront the nonsense.
I don't know enough about. If you go to like Rogan's subreddit, and again, you can't always trust that. But if you like see people talk about Eric and Brett Weinstein, people call them grifters and all. I don't know enough about the Weinsteins. From what seems like a much smarter guy than me. I don't know enough to refute anything you say. But I liked his general attitude of like, I'm going to come on here. I'm not going to shout at Terrence Howard. I'm not going to call him an idiot. I'm just going to point by point show things that disprove everything he's saying.
Yeah, and do it in a way that's like, respectful enough, because this guy also might stab me in the eyes. If you, Terrence Howard has a little bit of that in him, where if you just cross him a little too much, he might not be enjoyed. We got one super chat here, Blind Mike.
Sure.
Go ahead, DJ Lex.
Guys, we're never going to hit the goal like this.
Dang Lizard for €2. Okay, if I eat an apple 1 time, I've eaten 2 apples.
That's true. That's true.
Right?
1 × 1 apple = 2 apples.
That's exactly right, yeah.